In this video, I'm going to give you a closer look and also some test footage of one of my favorite vintage camcorders in my collection. This is the Sony Handycam Vision CCD-TRV65 8mm or high 8 video camcorder from Sony that came out back in 1998. And there's a few reasons why this one is actually one of my favorite camcorders in my collection. First of all, I always loved the design of this camcorder. As you can see, it's very square, very bulky. Lots of right angles here in the design of this one. Not very sleek looking as some of the other models that came out in the 90s. So it definitely looks more like an 80s type of camcorder instead of the late 90s. So I always loved that kind of vintage design of the Sony TRV65. Another reason why I really love this one is because it still has the night shot feature that uses the UV light in this camcorder. You can turn on and off using this lever. And a lot of the later models from Sony Handycams, they actually removed this night shot feature using UV because some people said that you could actually see through clothing depending on the lighting situation, which I don't think it was ever proved. But anyway, Sony actually took it out of some of the later models. And finally, with this one, you can still create that analog vibe in your videos. So this is actually real analog video that you can record with using high 8 or 8mm format type of video. But anyways, again, in this video I'm going to show you some of the features of this camcorder, and then later in the video I'm going to give you a sample footage that I took using the TRV65. And I'll be putting video chapters as well, so you can actually fast forward to the footage in case you're curious about that. But anyways, let's go ahead and get started with the front of the camcorder and talking about some technical details. The focal range in this camcorder is from 4.1 to 73.8 millimeters. So you get a great zoom using this camcorder, which a lot of the more modern cameras can't really do. It's an 18 times optical camcorder zoom, and the diameter of the lens is 37, so you can actually buy some of the accessories for the lens. And at the front you also get stereo microphones for your recordings. At the very top front of the camera you get a hot shoe adapter. If you slide it down, you can actually see that it's a hot shoe, so you can connect some proprietary Sony accessories like microphones or lights. I don't own any of those accessories, so I wasn't able to test this feature yet. Like I mentioned before, you also have the night shot feature right here. You can slide it on and off. Really cool feature in case you want to play around with that ultraviolet view or feature of the camcorder. Right here is where you turn on and off your camera. So you have different options. First of all, in the center, if you want to turn the camera off, and then you press down this button right here and you slide it up to turn on the camera, and that immediately opens the lens cover right here, and it turns on the camera. And then you're ready to shoot. And you slide it down if you want to turn it into VTR, so you can actually play the recordings right here using the LCD screen. And the playback buttons are here in the top. So this lights up when you slide down here into VTR. So you can stop, rewind, play, fast forward, pause, record. And I think this is a multifunctional button. I'm not sure about that. You can also edit search here with this button right here. And I'm actually not sure what this laser link is. I haven't tested that out yet. In case you want to, of course, this is a tape or a film camcorder. So you will need some high 8 or 8mm tape to use it. And to insert the tape, you would have to slide down this eject button right here. And then the door opens like that. And right now I have some test tape that I've been using to record the sample footage. Again, you can use high 8 tape, cassette tapes, or you can also use the older 8mm tapes. And of course, those ones are not being manufactured anymore, as far as I know. But you can still find some old, new stock in Amazon or on eBay. And I'll put a link in the description in case you want to pick up some of those tapes. Anyways, let's keep on looking at the features of the camcorder. And right here, this is pretty unique to this camcorder, or at least to these versions of the Sony Handycams. You do get an external LCD screen with how much time you have left here in your tape. If the tape is actually high 8 or 8mm, so you can actually record in higher resolution high 8 or lower resolution 8mm types of tape, and how much battery you have left as well. So really handy to have that outside of the actual LCD screen. But before moving into that, let's talk about this settings right here, which are also not very common with these kinds of Sony Handycams. So you actually have several different fader styles that you can use in your recordings. I have not tested this because it's a little bit of a pain to use them. This is more in case you want to actually edit your video while you record. So you can use it for, you can press this button to fade between or have a transition between your scenes. And this right here you can use to manually focus while you record. I did not test this out because, again, actually the autofocus in this camera is pretty good. So I just use the automatic focus in the Handycam. In the back you have lithium just a lithium battery. I am using an NPF 750, which is a little bit of a bigger battery that this one came in. I found this camcorder at the thrift store many years ago, and it came with a smaller battery. It was like about this size, and I purchased this one separately on eBay because it gives me a lot more time to shoot. This is a great battery. It's an older one as well, but still holds charge pretty good. Again, this one is the NPF 750. Let's see if I can focus right there. And here in the side of the camera, of course, you have the eject button to take out and put in the tape. And you have also a LANC jack in case you want to use an external controller for the camera, which I actually don't own either, so I wasn't able to test it out. You got of course the shutter button to start and stop your recordings. And this slider right here is actually very handy because this button is very easy to press accidentally. So if you want to lock the record button, you just slide it up, so that way you don't accidentally press start and waste a lot of your tape. So this is actually very handy. I found myself using this quite a bit. When you're ready to start shooting, just slide it down and press the red button. But for now, stays in locking feature. Of course, you get your hand strap right here and your tape compartment. And this right here is very important, this section right here, because this is what you're going to use to transfer your footage to your computer, which I assume most people out there will want to do. This one comes with full RCA connections, your classic yellow, white, and red jacks for standard cables. So you can connect this directly to a TV or to a video transfer device to your computer using standard RCA cables. So you don't have to mess around with the actual 3.5 or a 1/4 inch connection cables, which can be proprietary. This one is a lot easier to use. And this button or this jack right here is actually in case you want to connect it to one of the older computers older TVs that don't have RCA connections. If they only have RF inputs, you can use an external adapter to connect it to one of those older TVs, which I'm sure is not going to be very useful nowadays with high resolution TVs and HDMI connections. But this one would actually be very handy back in the 90s. You also get S-video connection to also connect video only to your TV. or again, if you want to connect it to a capture device. In the bottom right here, you get headphone jack in case you want to monitor your audio using an external microphone, which you can connect using this jack right here. The red one is for the microphone, and the green one is for headphones. So you can actually monitor the levels, which again, this is a consumer level camcorder, but it did come with a lot of very manual, semi-professional features, which was not very common for this kind of camcorders. Another reason to really like the TRV65, in case you find one of these ones out there in thrift stores or an older one. All right, so let's see what's inside the screen door. So you open it like that, and of course you get your LCD screen. Let's turn this on so you can see how bright it looks. But yeah, decent size screen for the times, I guess. And you can also use it to record widescreen, which is very useful in case you want to have that kind of aspect ratio. In the side of the door, you get some features that you don't get in many of the Sony Handycams, which you can increase and reduce the volume of your playback. And you can also increase and reduce the brightness of the LCD screen. So if you press it up or down, you can change the brightness. And then inside the door, you get another smaller door, so you can put in your coin-size battery to keep the clock in your camera running while you change the batteries of the camcorder. Some more advanced features here as well, where you can use to change the titles of your recordings, the dates. You can end the search in case you're looking for a particular scene in your recording, and some additional features that you can use, such as picture effects. You can, of course, this being a Sony Handycam, it comes with a lot of different kind of effects that you can play around with, and more advanced features for playback and recording here at the top right. And here in the back, you get your light feature, your program for exposure, and you can adjust the exposure using this right here. And this wheel right here is what you use to select the different settings. So if you go if you want to go to your menu, you press the menu button, and you use this wheel to select the different settings. So you can change the recording mode, you can change your exposure, you can change the name of your recording or some titles, but you use this wheel for that, and you press down the wheel to select your setting. You press back to exit. And aside of that, the last thing to take a look at is the viewfinder. This is a really nice viewfinder that you can slide up in case you want to shoot lower. And it does have a manual diopter right here that you can turn around like this. And it is in black and white, but it's fine. You can still see pretty good using this viewfinder. Otherwise, you can use the LCD screen itself. And you also get a wrist or shoulder strap for your camcorder. And I'm not gonna go on a full review on this one because I think it's a pretty standard Handycam, but I will say it is a great Handycam in case you're looking to play around with analog video. It definitely gives that kind of 90s vibe, a real 90s vibe that you can actually use in your videos instead of using filters on digital video or even low resolution digital video. This gives you a real analog type of feel in your videos. So a great little camera for videographers. You want to play with that kind of style in your videos. I'm gonna give you some sample footage that I took using this camera later in this video, and the method that I used to transfer the video into the computer I showed in one of my last videos in my channel. So I'll put a link in the description to that as well. Let me know if you have any questions about this TRV65. Thank you for watching and see you next time. Bye-bye.